So funny. Gang, we're going to keep the show going. I'm so excited to introduce your next comedian. He's a doctor from 9 to 5, so good thing it's 5 to 9. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Amit O!
Hi, I'm Amit. Thank you. In lieu of the 2 drink minimum, we have a 2 laugh minimum. If you don't hit it, don't worry. On the way out, there's a tickle machine. Phones are everywhere. Our brains are so wired to see them. You can look at somebody from afar and just know what they're doing on their phone. Instagram, Tinder, dick pic, solicited or unsolicited. We're all curious. So my name is Amit. Right now, when I'm at Starbucks, I'm Chuck. I actually am a doctor, unlike Seuss, Jay, or Evil. But I'm not the type of doctor you want during an in-flight emergency, or a regular emergency. Once I was flying across the country, I was on a plane, and my first class filet mignon dinner was rudely interrupted by an announcement that a passenger needed help. Now, this is the moment that all doctors dream about. Not the respect in society, the 50% off at Lululemon, or the nurses sliding into their DMs. I made my way to the back of the plane, a place that I forgot existed. The land of 4-inch TVs, feasts of 2 stale cookies, and aromas of irritability and bare feet. Sorry if you live there. I found the patient. I could tell it was her. She was hunched over, clutching her chest. She could barely breathe, but somehow muttered, "Sex." I said, "Huh?" She said, "Sex on the beach, and make it a double." She was huffing and puffing so hard she was delusional. I said, "Ma'am, I'm not a waiter. I'm the doctor." She said, "Oh, okay, nice to meet you. What kind of doctor are you?" I said, "Ma'am, I'm a dermatologist." She said, "I'll take my chances." Not to be outdone, I said, "Fair enough, but you should have that mole looked at. Because if this situation doesn't take you out, that definitely will." I went to medical school, so I paid $250,000 to join Raya. Before medical school, I went to middle school. Unconventional, I know. My middle school was in a rough neighborhood. I was bullied a lot by the teachers. I would be reading a book, and out of nowhere, somebody would throw a basketball at me and knock the book right out of my hands. They really hated books. I mean the teachers. I hated it. But that all changed one day. And that day was 9/11. It was sad and tragic and not my fault. But those bullies did not know the difference. And I wasn't going to let that ignorance go to waste. I don't have an uncle, but I know who those bullies thought my uncle was. The PE teacher said it was time to do push-ups. I said, "No, we're playing chess today." The era of non-contact sports has commenced. Bring out the shuttlecock. That's a badminton term, not a new men's-only rideshare app. I finally had some respect around those halls. I could see why they were confused, though. I mean, I am brown. I'm not quite 9/11 brown, but I'm definitely 7-Eleven brown. Don't get me wrong. I still get stopped at every TSA checkpoint. I don't know why I pay for clear. At this point, they should just call it white. Amit, I see you have TSA pre and clear. However, you were randomly selected for our secondary screen. Chad, no clear, no problem. Right this way, my good sir. People often ask me where I'm from, and I say exactly what they want to hear. South Carolina. Which is usually followed with some looks of disbelief, similar to the look a dad would make when he sees his son's credit card statement and sees a recurring $49.99 charge from OnlyFans. It was just 3 months. The cancellation period really snuck up on me. But after I say South Carolina, I'll bail them out and say, I'm from South Carolina, but my parents are from India. So I grew up in South Carolina, Indian, in the 90s, which means I'm basically that guy from Parks and Rec. But a little taller, better looking, and a little less canceled. Unlike my OnlyFans account. I don't have a Southern accent. And the reason I don't is because my first language was not English. My first language was actually PhDs. That's the language your parents speak to you when they say you have to become a doctor, lawyer, or engineer, and the latter two are only an option after you've been to med school. When I was really young, I went to an Episcopal school. I still don't even know what that means. The only thing I remember is we wore uniforms, there were some fancy buildings, and there was one priest that always asked the boys to stay late for guitar practice. My school was all white, except for me. When we learned about slavery, everybody thought I was what a black person was. They obviously never saw me play basketball. Or my penis. Except at guitar practice. But now that I think about it, though, I think they were kind of right. A little bit racist, but right. I probably would have been in that category back in the day. All this talk about black versus white in America in the 60s, but the Chinese, the Hispanic, and the brown people were all ignored. However, we were scheming up behind the scenes. Kind of like Succession, but if Kendall was Kendallani, Rome was Rohan, and Shiv was Xiaoban. Did you know that in 15 years, whites will no longer be the majority in America? That means in 15 years, Chuck will be standing in line at Starbucks. And when they ask for his name, he'll panic a little and say, Amit. That's my time. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Keep it going for Amit Ohm. Everybody let him hear it.